Yep.
Good morning, you're with Zaid Kahoot in Kahuts Corner. Today is Wednesday and we're only 2 or 3 days away from the big fight, Khan versus Brooke. So I thought I'd put a little video out just to let you know some of my thoughts and views with reference to this fight, particularly looking at has Khan been avoiding Brooke and what happened in that sparring session and what's my view of them as individuals and what's my experiences and what my contact has been like with each of these two fighters. Now, Kell and the Ingle gym, obviously I've trained at that gym, I've boxed for the Ingles and I know Kell quite well. Fantastic guy, Dominic, fantastic guy. The Ingle gym gave me an opportunity when they had world-class fighters in that gym, so they could have been focusing on world-class European fighters, but Dominic Ingle and the Ingle gym did give me time, did put some energy into trying to develop me as a boxer. So I've always appreciated that. And Kell, you know, we had a lot of laughs whilst we were in the gym. And an example of the type of person Kell is when my friend, and I'm not going to mention any names, when a very close friend of mine was ill and in hospital, I mentioned it to Kell and Dominic, and Kell was so kind as to send a video of support for my friend. So I just want to play that video if you can have a look at this. So this here, this was what Kell did.
Yes, keep strong, keep positive, we're all thinking about you, mate. Keep strong, my friend.
And here we go again.
Keep strong, keep positive, we're all thinking about you, mate. Keep strong, my friend.
And I'll never forget when my friend was in ICU and he was really all just skin and bone, and he was down and feeling really weak and perhaps lacking motivation. When I showed him this, he kept clicking on it and playing it again and again, and it must have, you know, done something for him, because he did recover and he came out of hospital and he got better. And Kell did this for us before he was a world champion. Okay, before he was a world champion, and he didn't have to do it, but he did it. It's a really nice thing. So I always support Kell and like Kell for that. With reference to Amir Khan, I've only met him a few times at functions and stuff. He's got a bit more of a superstar status, always has done, as long as we tried to be acquainted with him. But he does hang out with the public, and he does hang out with his fans at shisha bars and stuff, and he does make himself available as well. He also has done a lot for charity, and he's a really likable person. Now, going on to these two issues now about Khan never fighting Kell and Khan avoiding Kell. So Kell Brooks' view is that Khan has always been avoiding me. Why hasn't this fight taken place before now? It hasn't taken place because Khan's been ducking me, right? And I would like to say, even though I like Kell, even though I'm friends with Kell, I've got a lot of loyalties to the Ingle gym, I don't buy that. I think in life, what's happened here is that Amir Khan was always a little bit ahead in terms of his development. He was a little bit older. He was ahead in terms of his development, physical, and development in terms of his skill. And it's like if you give someone a 5-second start or a 3-second start on a track, and he sets off sprinting and you're trying to catch up to him. Kell's always been trying to play catch up with Khan and trying to catch up to him or take over him, and he's struggled and he's never been able to do it because Khan, quite rightly, is looking forward. He's not going to look over his shoulder. He's not going to look back at somebody who is trying to catch him up, you know. So even when Kell Brooke won a world title, Amir Khan was at the boxing at the elite level. He had the opportunity for mega paydays, mega fights. He was looking for fights with Floyd Mayweather, with Manny Pacquiao, with you know, he had big fights with Maradona, and you know, he's had the fight with Terence Crawford, with Canelo. He's always. So it's not a case of Khan is scared. If Khan was scared, why would he fight Canelo? If Khan was scared, why would he fight Crawford? If Khan was scared, why would he fight Maidana, who was like, you know, the monster of the division when it comes to, you know, even Floyd Mayweather struggled with him in the first fight. I really don't buy that. So in terms of Kell's argument that he's been ducking me all this time and now the fight's taking place because he's got nowhere else to go, there might be an element of that. Now Khan's done whatever he was going to do. If he was going to achieve something, he's achieved it. If he wasn't going to achieve it, he hasn't achieved it. And he's looked back now and he's thinking, Kell's still wanting this fight, the public want this fight, now I'll have it. But I don't blame Khan for never taking that fight sooner, because quite rightly you should be focusing ahead of you, not behind you or parallel to you. So he's always been striving to do more. Then on the flip side, Khan says, when we sparred, you know, I schooled Kell, right? And he's always saying that to Kell. I schooled him and I have that technical advantage over you. That was a long time ago, okay? And they might have been young kids at the time, being more developed at the time. So even if he did, even if he was better at the time, even if he was bigger and stronger, when children go from 13 to 14 to 15, they suddenly get bigger and stronger. So if Kell was just a year behind, a couple of years behind, he was always going to be a lot smaller and perhaps weaker than Khan. So if Khan got the better of those sparring sessions, so what? It doesn't mean anything, and Kell doesn't need to be ashamed of it. He doesn't need to be coy about it. It was a sparring, it was a long time ago, and it's not going to have any bearing on what is going to happen on Saturday, on fight night. So yeah, Khan makes too much of that, and Kell makes too much of the fact that he thinks Khan's been avoiding him. I don't think neither of those arguments hold water. They're not valid. With reference to the head-to-head was brilliant with the gloves off with Johnny Nelson. And I think some of the highlights of that were, Kell kept on saying, you know, why is this fight taking place now? You've never given me credit. You've never given me credit. I'm going to demand some respect. You know, I'm going to get some credit. I'm going to get the credit I deserve. And he made it sound like that was a motivating factor for him to try really hard on fight night. And then Khan just nipped that in the bud. He goes, well, here I am now, and I'm going to say to you, I do think you're a very good boxer. You're an elite boxer. You've done massive achievements. So I'm giving you the respect. I've given you the respect for free. And then he smiled at him, so as if to say, well, if that's what's motivating you for Saturday night, what's going to motivate you now? Because I've given you the respect. So that was pretty much amazing in Khan's favour, because in terms of the mind games. And another thing in Khan's favour in terms of the mind games was when he said, look, you've always been a fan of mine, you watched me in the jungle, etc. And you know, I've always achieved some of the things, because he got that head start. He got the limelight, he got the Olympics, he got the superstar status, he got the bigger fights. Poor Kell has always lived in his shadows. Now that's not Khan's doing. That's just the way he progressed. That's not Khan avoiding Kell. That's just his destiny versus Kell's destiny. So Kell shouldn't really be hating on Khan for that. But at the same time, I don't blame him, because he's lived in his shadow for so long. On the flip side, in that head-to-head with the gloves off, towards the end, Kell said to him, listen, you've been knocked out before, haven't you? Not once, not twice, many times. You know what it's like, don't you? Well, it's going to happen again. And then there was a big pause, and he said that with conviction, and Khan looked at him as if to say, yeah, I do know what it's like, and do you really think it's going to happen again? And because he said it with such conviction, there was a little moment there when Kell got inside Khan's head. Okay, so it's all set for a brilliant fight. People are saying, who do you think is going to win, Khan or Brooke, right? Well, I know who I think is going to win, and I know the reasons why, but I don't want to put it out on this video just yet, because it might get seen and it might influence people, and it might then prejudice what's going to take place. So what I want to do is I'm going to just pop it on a little email to Junaid, who's carrying this camera and very kindly recording it for me, and I'm going to send it to him, and I'm going to explain why the winner is going to win and the manner in which they're going to win. Okay, and then I'm going to give you the time and date of this email, and after the fight I'll come back and explain why I was either correct or wrong. So if you just give me a moment, I'm typing this out. So I've sent that. This email sent at 10:50 on the 16th of February. So after the fight I'll come back and I'll read the email. That was 10:50 on the 16th of February. So there's no changing, there's no ducking and diving or saying on the fence. I've written it down. So it was written, so it shall be done. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. This is my reasons, and you can tune in afterwards. In any event, enjoy the fight. It's going to be a good one. And thank you for watching Kahuts Corner. I'll catch up with you soon.